again, this is Trust Justice, and we're back. Hey, A4, it's been a while. Where you been? Hey, Lynn. I'll be in shortly. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oops, Fleet Carrier Weekly Upkeep Time. Oh, boy. Gotta enter that. Week 3. And today is... Where's my thing? July 2. Okay, 19,700, 685. Home maintenance. Not bad, 26,300, 685 for the week. Yeah, you missed me almost frying myself in Sagittarius A. There we go.
Hey, good day.
It looks like yellow's at the main menu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I took the week. Thank God, I needed it.
I missed it by this much. 580-something short.
Well, okay.
But I could have had it. But last night when I got done, I took a couple of Benadryl because my allergies are messing with me.
Yep.
And I overslept. I didn't wake up till I didn't start mining till 2
Oh, wow.
in the afternoon. So, yeah, if I'd have got up like I usually did, it would have been no problem.
That's okay. 500 short's fine. We can move on from here. I just want to be sure John is on the ship. Not John.
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Yellow. I don't know why I called him.
Yeah, he is. When I came in well, let me take it back. When I came in last night, he was on the ship.
Ah, okay. He's in the game.
There's a yellow ship to my, did you change your paint job?
I didn't change my paint job, no. There you are. Yellow is here and on the carrier. Excellent.
So if you want to go ahead and jump, I don't care.
Jumping sounds good to me.
Yeah. Because they're only 582 short.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
if we get out further away from Explore Anchorage, I don't have claustrophobia jumping out to different system and mining and coming back, but so close to the pirates just kind of makes me nervous.
All right, so let's get a move on then.
Oh, yes. And if I go sneezing or disappearing, don't think nothing of it.
Boy, that's kind of a pretty picture. Ah, I took the screenshot too
Yeah, he
late.
was a stunt man. Ask him about how hot his little cutter got. See, we learned real quick. Always test the theory before you follow Trace out there, because Explorer Anchorage doesn't have a shipyard, so you couldn't buy a cheap Sidewinder to jump into the black hole. So Trace says, I'll just take the cutter. He goes over there, jumps in. Yeah, he gets real close. Oh, temperature 50, 100, 130, and he's looking for a place to jump out at.
Because I couldn't just drive away from it. I actually had to jump out.
So I was like, yeah, I don't need to go see the black hole that bad.
Nope, no, they changed it. So
I'm glad that we thought, or well, both of us discussed it, thought about them changing it like that. I'm glad you just didn't go full throttle into it.
yeah, well, I went in careful. Well, I didn't want to go full throttle anyway because you can crash out. You you get dropped out of Super Cruise too fast. You always take damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely got warm.
It was an interesting experience. And I was flipping from my Elite screen to the YouTube because what I was watching, and what he was witnessing was two different things, and both interesting because I could watch him go into it, and then I was watching what it was doing to his ship, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was not good. Well, that's okay.
Lesson learned.
Yep.
Next time somebody says, yeah, you could jump in a black hole with no damage whatsoever, I'm going to say, go ahead, prove it to me. Go ahead.
Here, you first.
Yeah.
Well, I won't ask somebody to do something I'm not willing to do, so I went in first.
Well, I knew when I couldn't buy a Sidewinder, there was no way I was going to attempt it.
Yeah.
No way.
At least not until you saw me do it safely.
Then I had to think about it, because your flying experience compared to my flying experience is way different.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of like a pro, and I'm kind of like still a newbie, even though I've got some hours underneath me.
There we go. I'm going to take that picture. That's pretty.
I have to wait a minute.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and take a couple more shots, see if I can compose it a little. Oops, and I changed it. There we go.
Oh, okay. Now I'm seeing it.
That's just nice. Ooh, I'll do it that way. The colors are better that way. I like that. Go around the side, see if I can do it from this side. Oh, this side I can get some neat colors. Nice.
That's the next gripe I had. This planet is too light. I mean, the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a sun or something real close by.
Yeah.
It was hard in those asteroid fields to find the bright yellow line or anything. It was like they were all washed out because there was so much light.
Well, there is a lot of light here. I will give it that. I mean, we're the 5th planet out. Shouldn't be this light.
I wouldn't have thought so, but it is. I mean, it was just so, you know, and I guess with all the mining, which I didn't think we really did that much.
Oh, we're far from the only ones who would have mined this system.
I know it, but you wouldn't have thought their instance would have been in our instance. I wouldn't have thought. Anyways, all that dust, that ice stuff, and then that clip is like, oh.
The dust is cross instance and cross.
Okay.
So someone lights off a core, it affects the background simulation, and everybody gets it on every platform in every instance.
Wow. Okay. It's like trying to drive downtown LA in the smog.
I'm gonna have to post some of these shots on the YouTube on the Frontier forums, because it's just pretty.
Cool. And nice job on finding the Earth-like worlds there, Yeller. But we need them about 35,000 light years that away.
Yeah.
So if you could drag them along with you and deposit them,
just put them in your pocket,
much
you know.
appreciated.
Bring them along.
Yeah. That is a cool blue and tan and stuff. It is.
Yeah. And then, you know, in the side I've got now, we've got sort of the olive of the planet. And just a lot of nice colors. With the gradients of blue, tan, the shadow back there, and the lovely green of the emerald tablet. I wonder if I go over to this angle, does it?
And Mayday, boy, she was a jumping cat there last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was following her across there, and it's like, you know, I'd wait for my limpets to collect, and so I went to the galaxy map, and I was watching her go pa-pom, pa-pom, and it's like, come on, girl, you can do it. Kick it her in high gear. Get on out here.
Be nice when she gets out here, another explorer to add onto the ship.
Yep.
Especially when we get out there.
I was also thinking, if she's got a cargo hole, and she's got limpets.
Well, she's got hull repair. She doesn't have collectors.
Oh, okay.
And actually, keeping her with us with those hull repairs is
probably be a good idea.
Pretty much a good idea for the way back, yeah. It's really nice to have someone with hull repair available, just in case you make a goof up and you need it. Yeah, like I told her last night, you know, if I had room, you know, on an exploration ship, I would put the hull repair limpets in there. Absolutely.
Yeah, because if you need materials off the ground and you go in too hot, and you do hull damage. Well, you got to carry that all the way back to the next station. The hull damage.
Yeah, when on Distant Worlds 2, I learned the joys of having someone with hull repair limpets along with you, because I screwed up. I screwed up bad, and you know, dropped off about 25% of my hull and something. And
wow.
You know, it's like, oh shit. And I, was talking, with somebody who, I'd run into a couple of systems before, and ended up friend listing them, and was like, "Oh shit, I just did this." He's like, "Oh, not a problem. Where you at?" Like, what do you mean it's not a problem? I got hull repair limpets. It's like, yes, you're awesome. So he
Just
met,
wondering if that's something.
so he met up
Just
with me,
wondering
and
if that's
repaired my hull.
too late to think about it now, but I was just wondering if that's something we should. Did Explorer Anchorage have repair limpets?
Nope.
Oh, well, that answered that question.
No, it did not.
That's one thing I didn't think about.
Hmm.
I did come up with the auto field maintenance thing, but
Yeah, the auto field maintenance is far more important because your internals tend to take. If your internals take enough damage, you're not going anywhere. The hull, if you can get back to the station with 1% remaining, you're good.
I don't know if Trace answered you not A4, but yeah, the carrier's back emerald green again finally.
Did he ask me something? I didn't see it.
He said, "Hey, paint job is back for real now."
Oh, there it is. Yep, paint job is back. Thank goodness. Although I've still got a lot of stutter in the game as of last night, so we'll see tonight if game's going to play a little more smoothly. I don't know what they've done, but man, it's not. I don't know that I could do combat right now with the way the game's playing.
Well, I don't know about you, but I know I can't because everything's got to be perfect for me. If it stutters a second, I'm gone.
Yeah, there was a patch yesterday, and boy, it fixed a lot of stuff, including the paint job.
And so far hasn't broke anything else.
Nothing I've noticed, anyway.
Yeah.
So with the paint job fixed, now my biggest thing is the stutter. Oh, they broke foot pedal. They broke the yaw axis.
Yeah.
Well, that's more.
On that part, every time they do a major update or a patch, it always messes somehow or another with my key bindings.
Yeah. Well, it didn't break the key bindings. What it broke was the support for foot pedals. So so basically.
The alternate.
Yeah. So
okay.
so the foot pedals in Elite now both the rudder rotation and the rudder pedal press map to exactly the same thing in game, rather than being different. Before they were different. So when I push the pedals and I get the nice yaw, and then I had the pedal pressing set to sideways thrust, and so that I could control both the yaw and the sideways thrust using my feet. And the latest patch, they are mapped internally to exactly the same thing. So it made it basically impossible to control both with the foot pedals. So more important being yaw, I took the side thrusters off of it. Hopefully they'll fix that in a future update, and I can put the controls back on. Oops. Being sucked inside. Actually, I'll take a picture of this one too, because it's got the systems on it. But there were a large number of bug fixes on there, some of which we'd actually encountered and didn't even register that we'd encountered them. And other ones I was like, oh, well, that didn't happen to us. Okay. That's okay, you know? Lots of bug fixes and not too many introduced that I know of.
Yeah, the squadron tags, which I wouldn't have known nothing about because I'm not part of a squadron, but yeah.
Maybe I should make a squadron. I've got the money to do it.
What is that? I mean...
Basically a squadron, you know, it's kind of like a group of friends. And there's a few extra things that allows you to share, like waypoint markers. So it gives you...
Yeah, I've seen that in the galaxy. It says share with squadron.
Uh-huh.
This carrier is about to engage the frame shift drive. Please move to a safe distance.
So it's and I forget what else it allows you to share. There's a few other things. But the biggest one for me is the additional bookmarks.
What does it cost to start a squadron?
It's like 50 mil.
Oh.
Attention. Counting down.
And that gives you, like, how many more bookmarks?
3, 2,
I don't know.
1.
Oh. Yeah, I know that Elite needs you to have more bookmarks. You got 1 billion systems or whatever out there, and not enough bookmarks to go around.
Yeah. Well, it used to be there were no bookmarks, and I was bookmarking with Sidewinders.
Name your ship what it was?
Yeah. You know, I had a particular system I was using for Empire ranking, because it was so close to Akinar that it was always on the short list of things. So it was always needy. It always had donation missions, go fetch missions. So it was just, you know, source and return, lots of source and return, lots of donations. And so I'd do a bunch of source and returns and use the money from those to donate, and just keep rinse and repeat and repeat and repeat. And that's how I was getting Empire rank back in the day. Nowadays, there's a lot faster ways to do it, but... Congratulations! We picked up one body.
Yeah, I'll let you guys go out. Sit here and eat my ice cream. Yellow's launching.
Retract landing gear.
Go for launch. Fixed speed landing gear retract. Is far behind you.
Hey, Yellow!
Who?
I buzzed him.
Oh my God! Yes. He's world famous. Him and A4 are world famous for buzzing you when you least expect it.
Ah, really? It is only 1 star. Okay. Turning around, heading back.
The bright star too.
Yeah, it's rather odd that such a bright star has nothing else here. But it does happen.
Yellow says, recall the Raptors. Yeah, well, you gotta wait for the cool down.
Yeah. Disengage.
Leaving hyperspace.
We see you out there, Commander. Let us know if you'd like to dock.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Access granted. Please follow standard docking protocols, Commander.
Oh, there goes Yeller. Yeah, round and round, upside down. Nose first, sliding sideways. Oops. Hey, stay away from me now. Scoot your hind end over.
Deploy landing gear. He's got plenty of clearance. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Watch out to your right, Lynn.
Yeah.
Contact confirmed.
Cool.
Clamps engaged. What can we do for you, Commander?
I was looking at it, the carrier view, and I was watching it come in. It was pretty cool.
Alrighty. Alright. Seven more units.
one thing about it. This trip out here is going to teach me to be patient with my OCD. With the trim, you know, trying to keep it full and all this stuff. It's like it's almost to the annoying. Oh, I can't keep that thing full.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stars out here.
Yeah, I can't wait on the way back when we get into this area. Poor old Yellow, he'll be looking around left, right, up, down. Oh, which way do I go? To that one system, A4, I jumped. It was one jump on the faster street, 25 light years. So I thought, I use the economy back. 1 light year you had to jump. One jump had 2 in it, so it took me 18 jumps to get back to the carrier. And I thought, oh my God, if we do this on the way back, I'll never get back to the bubble.
Yep. Well, I think by the time we get back this far, we'll have broken you out of that habit.
What, the economy system?
Yeah. We can certainly go by Colonia on the way back. I don't mind.
If I had all my... Well, let me look.
It's not that far out of the way.
I do have some unlocked at Colonia. I think I got Petra.
Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
Let me see. I know I got some
No, we're on the way out still.
engineers.
Or do you mean eventually? I figure we'll be back for, somewhere around the end of the year. So, Colonia is only 11 or almost 12,000 light years from here. It's not bad.
Palin's that there, right?
No, Palin's a lot closer to the bubble.
Oh, okay. Well, I just seen the 26,000 light years.
Yeah, from here.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Colonia ones will be somewhere around 12,000 light years from us. So, it's we'll add about 30% to the distance on the way home. And a beautiful nebula right near Colonia too. I didn't go jump into that the last time. I'll have to go do that. But we've got so there's 4 engineers over in Colonia.
I think I've got what's his face?
There's one of them to get access to. All you got to do is 5 missions for. You go to Colonia, you do 5 missions for the Colonia faction, and it unlocks them.
Oh, that's that. Yeah. But I think I got Dorn.
Mm-hmm.
I think all I got to get him is the 25 escape pods.
Oh, yeah, I showed you how to do that one on one of my videos last year.
Yeah.
Just don't shoot the ship.
And then 10 units of osmium.
Osmium? Mm-hmm.
Osmium, excuse me.
That's easy to get. Just go mine it. It takes you about 10 minutes. It's a really common mineral.
200 units of
Progenitor cells, yes. Otherwise known as what's it cells there though. Oh come on, my brain's not coming up with the name of those. But anyway, yeah. Stem cells. It's basically what they're referring to as processed stem cells, if memory serves. It doesn't always, but we're heading to ST, actually, here. There, it's on screen.
There's only one engineer out there I don't have enough to unlock, and that's Marcia Hicks, and that's because I don't have the Dweller done yet.
Aha, okay.
So I can get 3 of 4. If we go by that way.
Yep. On the way back, I don't care. I'll go any direction. Doesn't matter. So you guys are following me on the way out, and I'm following you guys on the way back. Whichever way you want to go.
Yeah, well, we got to see where May is. It would be all right if Yella had enough of his engineering, you know, where it's just not me going over there to do it. You know, if May had some unlocked or whatever.
Okay. Oh, where am I stationing the tablet? Okay, here. Galaxy map. Galaxy map.
Here's the galaxy map, Commander.
A4, Trace says we'll be back sometime before the Space Lakes get here. But probably not that, maybe by a week or 2.
So this is the approximate system that we're aiming for. Problem is the system has changed since the last time it was there. The last time it was there, this was an Earth-like. And it's not now. It's a high metal content. And it's not even terraformable. Which is a bummer. So the plan is to head to this system and then spread out around it and find an Earth-like. Because I want to be orbiting an Earth-like somewhere in that area. Technically, I want to be somewhere between here and... let me pull out so I know where I'm at here. Somewhere I want to be somewhere between these 2 bookmarks. Whether it's above them, below them, yeah, whatever. But I want to find an Earth-like somewhere in this area, and that's what I'll orbit. And the reason this is important is this is the start of one of the routes across the abyss. The other end of the route is here. So if you're going to Beagle Point, you head for this system, you go across this to this system, and then you follow one of the well-known pathways to Beagle Point. And that's generally how you get there. If you have a system that's less than 70, 40 light years or less, that's how you get there. So you fly to here, go across the bridge to here, and then work your way to there. If you got a longer jump range, well, you don't have to worry about that sort of thing.
We're still 29,000 light years away from destination.
Yep. It's 30 from the center, so.
And how far have we traveled so far?
About 1,000 from the center.
No, I meant.
Oh, total? Okay, hold on. Let me turn around.
I was trying to see if the tritium would get us there or not.
Okay, let me go to where we started. Material Trader Raw. This is where we started from. 26. So actually,
am I fooling myself, or do we have enough to go all the way there now?
Just barely. Wouldn't that be nice to have some in reserve, though?
Well, okay, yeah, okay.
So to hit our original target system, yes, we can hit that with what we've got, provided we don't run into says somewhere out there that there's a restricted zone. And provided we don't, yeah, I'm worried about having to go around that.
Okay. I hadn't thought about that.
I think we're going to miss it to Galactic to the right, Galactic East. But oh, that was good. But it's like somewhere right over in here. And it's actually stretches in this huge region here. It's just
Yeah, that's what you were saying. It was just if you looked on that one map, it's like a gap, a big old hole.
Yeah.
As big as the bubble.
So, you see the green bookmarks here from the Distant Worlds 2 route out. Well, this cuts through this. It's kind of a double lobe. And this path in here between this D4 134 and actually my bookmark here, you're threading. This is between the two lobes, and one lobe is here and one lobe is here, kind of thing. I mean, it kind of looks like a big globe, sort of roughly, but there's kind of this you can jump kind of through this one narrow path through the middle, and which is why my bookmarks are there, because that's actually the route I took through. And if you have actually, is that? Yeah, and then these two bookmarks here that are kind of, that's Route 66. Which is one of the other routes across the abyss.
Yellow wants to know what the jump range through that little area right there would be.
Shoot.
If it was like over 20 light year jumps each, or 30 or 40. I think he's wanting to go through the path.
If he wants to go through the path, he better have let's see. He's probably going to need 10 or 15 premium boosts to get to Colonia and back. But all he has to worry, not Colonia, to get to Beagle Point. But once he gets to Beagle Point, unless they've changed it, and I don't know whether they have or not, the planets at Beagle Point have everything you need to create jump boost fuel, so he can go there. So long as he's got an SRV, he could fill up there for the way back. But
I don't know. Did we ever ask you if they had an SRV?
I don't know.
We may be out there flipping stuff up in here.
Oh God, trying to do that in a clipper? It was hard enough to do. Sidewinder was hard enough. A clipper's gonna be a bitch if we have to do that. Yeah, going with a 20 light year jump ship, I'd want to be going to Beagle Point with more than the minimum. The minimum's like 15 to get there and 15 to get back. So I'd like to have, you know, close 60 or 70 just so I have insurance.
Looks like we may have a few planets here.
Cool.
A few bodies.
Just gave us the star. All right, let's go play map this system.
All right, Commander.
You guys are already jumping out, and I'm just getting out of the bay.
Oh.
You guys are quick.
Now, super cruise.
The track landing gear.
I'm slow.
Ship released.
Landing
You
gear
have
track.
this off.
Nice.
You have not.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
You guys will have it mapped before I'm even able to do anything. Hey, get one.
System scan complete.
Got one. System map. Oh, a bunch of ice balls. Oh no, that's a high metal content. And the rest are icy. And the high metal content is meh. Small. At 31 atmospheres? Whew. That's a dense little planet. It says it's only 0.4 Earth masses. Why does it have such big atmosphere? Huh. Alright. Heading back to the carrier.
I'll need to then.
Not sure I understood that one. Disengage.
Dropping out.
LP what? Oh, landing pad 1.
Thank you for visiting our carrier. We hope you find what you're looking for.
I think he has the thing of being first.
Open hailing frequencies. Well, he likes to be at the back so that he can.
Move directly to your landing pad.
So that he can see everything in front of him.
Yeah, okay. He's sitting in the back of the bus.
Yeah.
I'm right next to you. Pad 2.
The only problem with being in the back of the bus is that it gives me an opportunity to buzz.
Yeah. Haircuts. Yep.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear track.
Oh, good job there, Commander.
We've got you safe and sound. Solid approach. Enjoy your stay with us.
See what I had to put up with that for? Oh, the buzzard has landed. Oh my God. Space craze.
Oh no, I'm like that even without.
Oh my God. He's done that to me 2 or 3 times, A4, and he always, he's talking about something else, and I'm really listening because, it's like what we're going to do next, and I'm making notes, and I'm not paying attention where he's at around me, right? All of a sudden he goes, whoa, that's right on top of me. It's like, throw my pencil. I have to go retrieve my pencil. Oh. Breaks up the monotony, I guess.
Well, yeah, I've just kind of got that, fighter pilot mentality.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I hope we're going to jump 3 more times.
But,
Because the 3rd jump is interesting system.
aha.
Or at least that's what I got wrote down. C28 3624.
Yeah, that's what I got written down too.
Whoa, 3624. You're missing out, A4. You should have came along with us.
Hey, give me one more person to buzz.
No, A4 would be buzzing you back. He's good at buzzing.
That's
Like
okay.
Be running into an asteroid. When you giggle like that, it just sends a cold chill right up my spine because I know you're thinking about doing something that's nefarious.
I kind of wish I could see how that looked from Yellow's perspective.
Well, I don't know about his, but I was right above you when you did it. I had a front row seat to it. It's like, oh, look at that. Is my ship bigger than his?
Oh, yeah. He's got the clipper, not the cutter.
Oh, okay. I thought the Clipper was a little bit bigger than that, though.
Nope. The clipper is just... If the clipper didn't have those wide pylons out to the side, it would be a medium ship. It's only the pylons that make it a large.
Oh, okay.
In fact, if they, even if they swept it back another 10 degrees, it would bring it to within the size that should be able to land on a medium pad.
Okay.
It's the medium that thinks it's a large.
Yeah, I guess you'd call that like we're the frogs and it's the tadpole.
It's an overachiever. And if you look...
Uh-oh, I hear him tweeting. What is that? He's got the little big ship. It's annoying. It's a medium ship.
Yeah. So if you notice it, he fits in the size of the that central portion with the red lines. That's actually a medium size pad for length. The problem is he's pretty much full width.
Yeah.
For the big pad. So it's basically the width that makes that a large. So if they swept the wings back another 10 degrees, it would actually fit on a medium. It should just about fit on a medium pad. So you can see that.
Take them off totally.
Oh no, you can't take those off. Then it wouldn't be a Byeia ship.
Okay.
All the Byeas are like that. But you'll see, the main difference on the medium pad is a little shorter than the large pad, but it's much narrower. And so you'd actually have to sweep it back. Well, maybe 10 degrees. Yeah, I don't know if 10 degrees would do it or you'd need 20. But you'd have to sweep the wings back or back it down to just make them narrower, make the whole ship overall narrower.
Right.
But as you can see, he easily fits the length on a medium pad. It's just the width.
That's pretty cool.
And of course, well, the cutter just fills it. Well, there's a good perspective for the two of them. If I move forward just a little more. There you go. Side-by-side comparison of the clipper and the cutter. So the cutter is only a little wider than the clipper, but a lot longer. Almost about 1.5 times the length. And then mine with the ship kit. Yay.
I'll be right back. Going for coffee.
Coffee. I want coffee. We had hamburgers, German-style potato salad, and corn tonight. I should have waited till Lynn get back to say that. Oh, well, I'll say it again when she gets back.
Okay, back.
Yeah, welcome back. Yellow was saying he's eating steak right now.
Yeah, well, I had steak yesterday. I had hamburgers today.
Oh, that's what we had. I had hamburgers, German-style potato salad, and corn on the cob. Yummy.
You said German style potato salad?
Yep.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes.
Yep. Rather than French-style potato salad, which is completely different.
Yep. Same ingredients, just different dressing, isn't it?
No, actually. So your French style has potatoes, boiled eggs, and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
The German style has potatoes, bacon, peas, vinegar, and oil.
I thought it also had eggs.
Nope.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's authentic because my mother-in-law moved over here from Germany. And that's her recipe. It's delicious. Which kind? Because the German tastes completely different from the French. Or is it the texture of the potato? Yeah, most people are used to the French, so if it's made basically if it's made with mayonnaise, it's derived somewhere from the French recipe. If it's made with oil and vinegar, it's derived from the German recipe.
And mustard. Don't forget mustard. Some of them have mustard in it.
I haven't had one with a mustard. That would probably be a Bavarian.
I think it's Amish.
Amish? Okay.
Yeah, theirs is potatoes, boiled eggs, onions, and then they have mustard in it with a little bit of vinegar. I know, and that's just a lead.
It's every MMO. They all use the same algorithm. They tweak it and tweak it and tweak it, but they all start from the same algorithm. It's kind of a common piece of code, and it sucks. The problem is it's a multilingual, so you may not you say, why did it star out that? That's not a swear. I don't get it. And then you find out, well, no, it's not a swear in English. It's a swear in some other language, whether it's Spanish, Portuguese, German.
Yeah, the politically correct censor patrol.
Oh, yeah. Well, it prevents lawsuits. Although, I mean, this game is supposedly, minimum age of 14, so I don't know why. Well, I do. They try and, get hate stuff out, but because they don't want to be labeled as supporting hate groups, so they put in
Well, they support hate groups all the time. The pirates.
Here we go. Space Cow.
Attention,
Boom.
Chruia is now under pre-flight
To the
lockdown.
milk barn and beyond.
No, that's not Moose. I know Moose. I know Moose from far too close.
It's more like a cow in a cave.
Yeah. Although a moose blowing his lips at you is a really funny sound until you realize what it is. And then it's a really scary sound.
Yeah, my first time of seeing a moose, I was up at Alberta, Canada, and this guy had a great big giant Dodge Ram farm truck, you know, it said high off the ground and everything, and we were rolling down this dirt road running probably 65 miles an hour, and I was making a comment, wow, your dirt roads are better than our dirt roads back home. If you go 45 miles an hour, you just tore out the suspension. But anyways, about that time, this big old giant moose with a huge set of rack kept walked out of the tree line there in front of the road, and it stops in the middle of it. And,
Yeah.
this guy eases up there, and I'm like, this moose is standing flat-footed, and he's kind of had to tilt his head down a little bit to look in the cat, and I was like, he's huge.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he'll destroy this truck if he gets a mind to.
Attention all ships. This carrier is about to engage the
Like,
French ship.
okay, let's don't piss him off.
To a safe distance.
Yep. Tough thing about moose. They charge headlights.
It's well, he didn't, but they don't say that he wouldn't have. But
They have a
you're nice and patient.
yeah. They have a really bad habit of well, was his headlights turned on?
I don't know if it was a new enough model that the lights come on automatically when you pet it drive or not.
Well, I don't know that they'd notice it during the day, but if you shine a light on them at night, they're going to come right at it. Hard. Just put their head down and just charge at whatever is lit up.
Counting down.
Well, I know this one was big. I sure wouldn't want
5,
to be standing on the ground with it.
No.
1.
Woman I know was out in Wyoming in the winter snowshoeing, out in behind her house, up in the woods. Came around an evergreen to the hind end of a moose. The moose stepped back, threw her snowshoes, and then took off, dragging her behind by one leg. She ended up breaking her hip and her leg before her snowshoes broke, crawled back home, and then went to the hospital to get it fixed.
You know, that's something you usually don't see to do either as a moose.
Now,
It's because they're hard to keep.
not particularly.
Well, I mean, their temper and stuff, they're hard to keep stuff from being tore up by them.
Maybe the males, I don't know, but the females not so much. I got to interact with one by the name of Karen up at the Coastal Wildlife Reserve in Alaska. And
Yeah, I thought the same thing there.
I can't. Well, the thing is, you saw my mustache when I was on, right? When I was able to get the the phone to act as a webcam for a bit. Well, most high-end mustache waxes are made from beeswax. And Karen has a sweet tooth.
And she likes beeswax.
Oh, she tried to take my mustache off.
Landing clamps disengaged. Departure confirmed.
Retract landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Landing gear retracted.
Dr. Kroschel thought it was hilarious. One of these days I'll email him back because...
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I was on a cruise that went from Anchorage down to Vancouver, and the Kroschel, it's not Icy Point. It's you can actually look it up. It's Roschel.
Horschel.
Yeah. Guy's hilarious. Oops. You guys have already finished. System map. I weren't quick enough. Oh, it's all stars. Okay. Back to the carrier. So basically, all the animals at that reserve are rescues that can't be reintroduced to the yeah. Ah, Ketchikan. Okay. Right near the disengage.
Leaving hyperspace.
What was I saying? All the animals in that are rescued, and of course, and by Alaskan law, you can't reintroduce rescues back to the wild. So they're kind of all permanent residents there, and Karen is a sweet cow moose, a really nice sweet moose. And what they have you do is they give you a carrot to put in your mouth, and Karen takes the carrot from your mouth. It's kind of sweet. Most people she's gentle with. With me, she got close and went to be gentle and smelled the honey, and then she went for it. Bashed me in the nose. Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Access granted. Proceed to your allocated pad, Commander.
Then there was George the Caribou, who's quite the character.
Well, I used to raise buffalo, and those animals there, you give them a wide berth, even though they're being raised by humans, you still give them a very, very wide berth.
Yeah.
When you herd them to the corral, you mosey. You don't yell at them. You don't run up on them. You mosey and hope they go in the direction you want.
Deploy landing gear.
I've seen
Landing gear deployed.
we had 2 bulls and 150 head of cows, and I've seen 4 of them get spooked and take out a 6-strand barbed wire fence like it wasn't nothing.
Oh yeah. We used to have a bison farm in the next town over from where I grew up, and they're big animals. And man, if they get it in they get it in their mind that they're going somewhere, man, there's nothing that's gonna stop them.
Yeah. Some of the bulls that we had, I'm 5'2", and some of the bulls we had, their freaking head was longer than I am tall.
Yep.
It's just unreal when you get close enough to where you can get a comparison. And
Yeah.
if they swatted a fly, they could probably throw it to me 150 foot.
Clamps engaged. Welcome to our carrier, Commander.
Big animal.
Yeah. When we worked them, we had to have the chutes, the sides of the chutes at the top. We had to put plywood up against the cattle panels, so that, because if they could see an inch of daylight, that's where they were going.
Yep. I know it wasn't off of Icy Point, because at Icy Point, I went on the...
Buffalo cows.
I went to the... to try and take a picture of a grizzly bear.
I give grizzly bears their room. They can have it.
Oh, they're not too bad.
If you want a picture of a bear, go to the trash dump. Yeah.
Oh, that's black bears, yeah. Black bears are big chickens.
We have them here. They wander up and down town quite a bit. Freak people out.
The grizzlies or the blacks?
The blacks.
Yeah.
Nobody actually knows where they came from, because usually we don't have bears here in Oklahoma like that. Now down in the Ouachita Mountains in southern Oklahoma, yeah, you do, but not usually up here.
Well, bears are no black bears especially are known to just go wandering for the hell of it. Oh, I just realized I'm lagged out. There they are. Okay. So I don't know if you heard what I just said because my game lagged, but black bears are known for just deciding to go for a walk. And yearling moose, the same, even more so. You know, black bears will go a couple 100 miles just to go see what's over the next hill. A yearling moose, they're known to go 1,000, 2,000 miles just for the hell of it.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
But I've been up close with a couple of moose. Had one walk right through the campsite I was camping in with my dad. I rolled over in the sleeping bag and he took off. Thank goodness he didn't come through the tent. Then another point on that same trip, we were heading, or actually it was the previous trip, we were heading up a slow river. And there was a yearling who was kind of standing around one of the bends. And he just watched us like, how the hell are you going the wrong direction? You're supposed to be going downstream. And he just stood there and watched us the whole way going by him. Oh, shit. That was funny.
We lost you there, buddy.
You did? Oh. I just telling about the yearling. Dad and I were paddling upstream and confused the hell out of the yearling. Yearling moose would just sit there. He saw us coming, he stopped chewing and just watched us come upstream, go around the bend, and the whole time we were moving up, he's just like, had the most puzzled look on his face. It was, I had a hard time just not breaking out laughing. Like, it's just one of those things where you can see the thoughts going through, the back of his skull. Wait a minute, that's not the direction you're supposed to be going. The stream's going the other way. Because, of course, we're out in the middle of this stupid stream. I'm just glad he didn't decide to come out and try and figure out what we were, because he probably would have capsized us.
Mom?
Well, no, he was obviously a yearling when they're already, you know, out away from their parents they're on that year.
Yeah.
Um,
You're probably like, hey, Mom.
yeah. But yeah, one of those trips, one with the bull moose was basically blowing his lips at me. He was in the swamp. I was fishing a stream with my fly rod, and he was in the swamp up behind me on the same side of the river. Really close by. He just blew his nose at me, you know, blew his lips at me a couple of times, and I'm just like, okay, I'm moving. Bye. I don't want to mess with you, sir. But yeah, I spooked a black bear. He was licking the. Not sure what he was licking off the picnic table in the campsite, but because we had washed everything down with soap and water, so I have no idea why the hell he was licking the table. But yeah, all I had to do was sit up, and he was out of there. Broke our lantern. Oops. Well, like I said, black bears are chickens. They are so easy to spook. Then again, there was the time my cousin was up in Caribou, Maine, in blueberry season, picking her way, and everybody went out for a blueberry, you know, pick blueberries. She was picking around this bush, heading to her right around the bush, and she bumped into something furry. So she looks to her right, and the black bear looks to its left.
Attention. This carrier
And then
has
shoves its
scheduled
head
a
back in the
hyperspace
bush
zone.
and continues to
Please
eat
complete
blueberries.
any outstanding business in the system prior to departure.
And she went picking back the other direction. No, she wasn't screaming. They're very picky. In fact, grizzlies are also very picky. You know, he was there to eat blueberries. Nothing else really mattered to him. Yeah, it's like. And
The only thing about the bears is you always want to make sure that you're the fastest. If you're with a group of people, you always want to make sure you're the fastest runner, and you put a lot of people between you and the bear.
oh, one's enough. Yeah, before I went up to Alaska, I was taking my camera gear up on hikes up Mount Monadnock to make sure I could run with 35 pounds of camera gear on my back. Most of which was a single lens.
35 pounds, you said?
Yeah.
If you'd added another 10 pounds, that's what they make them bushfire boys. You have to do, what is it, 2 miles in so many minutes with 45 pounds on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And you pretty well have to do a brisk, not a trot, but not really a walk, a fast.
Yep. Well, the trail I was doing was 2 miles long with a half-mile vertical.
A fast, energized walk to do it in the time limit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to do something else afterwards to make sure you're physically fit to go.
Yeah, because if you're in a bushfire and you get your gear on, you got to move.
That's tough. With just a backpack.
Attention. Carrier jump sequence is underway. Lockdown begins in...
Not just the smoke jumpers, even the guys that go in on the ground.
Yes.
They have to pass the test, too.
Absolutely. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, no, I was answering Yell. He said smoke jumpers, question mark, and I went...
Oh, okay.
Oh, the smoke jumpers. Yeah, I know a few of them. I know a lot of the volunteers, the wildland firefighters. Yeah, that's a different breed of folks right there.
Yep.
Yeah, smoke can be bad.
Yep. So when I was up there at Icy Point, we went on the thing to try and take bear pictures. You know, we were heading down, and we apparently a bear had just moved just out of sight because he left us a present on the trail and it was still steaming. Could tell what he thought of us.
Here, take a picture of this.
Yeah. I'm actually one of the few people who actually got a picture of a bear on that particular run, because when we the only bear we saw was at a half mile. We didn't see the guy who was close to us. It's too bad. I would have liked to have gotten a better picture. But I was glad I had that 35-pound lens. It's a 400 millimeter lens, and I had a 2x extender. So I could reach out that half mile and take a picture. One other guy had a 1,000 millimeter lens camera, and then one guy had a 1,500 millimeter telescope. And we're the only ones who could see the bear. So we shared views through our viewfinders so that everybody could get a look. The only other picture I got of a grizzly was at the Alaskan Zoo. He's just sitting out in the middle of his pen, just sitting down there on his hind end, just looking absolutely freaking bored. Poor thing. Bored out of his skull.
Yeah, it's kind of bad to have to be put in the zoo for our entertainment.
Yep. There's one at the Crochel Reserve, but, I mean, that one has 10 times the area to wander around in than the one at the Alaskan Zoo does. Funny as hell, because the guy will put Dr. Crochel puts a pie, usually a fruit pie, out for the bear underneath, some sort of box or container, or he changes it up every day, just so the bear gets, some mental stimulus to, getting something out of a container type of thing. And, oh God, it's funny to watch the bear. It goes right to it. It's like, oh yeah, I know it's out there. There it is. And it's like, okay, what's the puzzle this time? And
the only thing I can say is that maybe the animals that got caught that are in the zoo are ones that they rescued or something, and like you said, cannot be turned back into the wild.
That's entirely possible. I know that's true with the eagle that's at the New Hampshire Zoo.
Area is now under pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
He can't fly more than like 15 feet. He can basically fly around within his area, but he doesn't have much more wing strength than that. And generally, he doesn't move. He goes and sits on top of a pole all day long. You got a couple of those, couple of birds at the Audubon Center up by me. The only reason they're there is because they, broke either their keel bone or their wing, and they just can't survive on their own anymore. So, the people there do what they can for them.
Yeah. We have some bald eagles that come through here during their winter travel and summer travel.
Mm-hmm.
And one year I thought I was going to get to see an interesting concept. An eagle landed, and a goose was here at the same time, and it had it had a nest of some type.
Oh,
And
God.
the eagle was, I guess, trying to get an egg. Wasn't having none of it. And for a little bit, I thought the goose was going to get the better of the eagle. I really did. Because, the eagle was a pretty good-sized bird. But the goose was,
Gooses are ornery.
Taller.
Yeah.
And they went around and around and around for about 15, 20 minutes. And I don't know if the eagle got it with its beak or its talon. But finally, the goose was like, it's not worth it, and flies off, and then the eagle got his egg.
Mm-hmm.
Attention all personnel, frameshift drive has been engaged.
My dad and I tried to sneak up on an eagle in a canoe. It was on the shore of a lake on top of a deer carcass.
Attention, counting down.
Unfortunately, I screwed up.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I brushed the side of the canoe with my paddle, and that's all it took. And amazing birds. Just to, seeing them, what they can do when they want to take off. Is literally his first jump put him 10 feet in the air, and then 2 wing beats later, he was gone.
Yeah. About the only experience I had in a canoe is I got too close to a beaver dam, and he came up underneath the canoe and swatted the bottom of it with his tail. I thought he was going to turn us over. He swatted us about 4 or 5 times on the bottom, and I thought, man, he's either going to turn us over or he's going to put a hole in this canoe. So we got out of there to leave him alone because we didn't want him to damage the canoe. Because it was a wooden.
Oh, a wooden canoe. Oh, that would have been bad if he decided to wreck that.
Oh, yeah. The friend, he'd built it, had it all set up, bowed to wood. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, heavier than a summer gun, but beautiful.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I'll let you guys get this one. Looks like there's just 2 out there. But, yeah, he was beating the bottom of that canoe, and he was hitting it hard enough to rock it.
That was a big beaver. Retract landing gear.
Ship released.
Landing
You have
gear
this
retracted.
Yeah, there's a lot of stars out there, ain't there?
Yep.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
System map. Yeah, just 2 stars here. Okay.
Okay, according to my paperwork, the next one should be the very interesting one.
Okie dokie. Disengage.
Exiting hyperspace.
We welcome your business at this Chruia, Commander. Please enjoy your stay with us.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking
Where
permission.
we're at now, I see in the galaxy map, there's lots of bluish purple stars.
Permission granted. A landing pad has been assigned
Lots
to
of
you.
blue purple stars.
Mm-hmm. Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, you two.
We've got you safe and sound. Solid approach. Enjoy your stay with us.
Honor little cusses.
Well, now you know I got to do that.
No, it wasn't wrong landing pad. That was just Trace being Trace. And then Yellow thought he'd get in on it too.
Nice. That the right one? YZE 283624. Yep. Oh, did I cut it a little too fine, getting away from your pad? Sorry.
Yeah, only problem was he forgot to not.
Huh.
That's the reason why I either let Trace land
Maximum
first,
capacity.
or I make sure he's way out there when I come in. Yeah, I got to see one go over me and then in front of me and then go sideways and another one come in from the sideways over and then back. Yeah, it was all cool. It was all good. It was all good. Yeah.
Space ballet, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of went with the elevator music. More like Tinkerbell.
I was watching a talk from someone who is a retired SR-51 Blackbird. Oh, maybe I talked about this one before. But he was a pilot for a Blackbird, and yeah, he asked one tower near the base if they wanted they would appreciate a flyby. So he did. In fact, they asked him to come back and do another one, so he did. And he got back to the base, and it turns out they didn't have a rule against doing that. So he said, well, write one. Apparently, some people who, were not in the tower and didn't know it was coming were scared out of their wits.
Well, I'm sure some of the upper echelon were probably a little bit miffed. That's a multi-million-dollar plane.
Nah, just at the bad publicity.
Attention, this carrier has scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any outstanding business in the system prior to departure.
But he asked if they wanted him, fly down. He said, and the tower said, "Yeah, sure, we'd love to have you come down." He said, "Okay, do you want me to come down over the runway or over the taxiway?" And the air traffic controller said, "Oh, do it right over the taxiway. I want to see this as close as I can." So, he came down maybe 100, 150 feet off the ground, down the taxiway with an SR-71 Blackbird.
That's enough to blow out their windows.
Oh, he didn't do it at speed. He slowed it down,
Still
but
a vibration.
yeah. But yeah,
Those things
make a lot of noise.
Oh, the horsepower in things. I mean, geez. They're an awesome plane. I mean, gee, whoever built those, they're awesome.
I love the fact that they actually have to get up to speed to heat up the skin of the airplane sufficiently to have it stop leaking avgas.
to expand the metal so they can seal up the cracks. Oh, that's cool. That's just funny.
Yeah, well, they actually have to make it leaky because otherwise the metal would expand too much at speed and end up warping and shattering and causing all sorts of problems. So they designed it, to be a certain thing at speed, and then figured out just how much smaller they had to make the pieces so that the heat of being at speed would expand them. So it leaks like a sieve when they refuel it. So what they end up doing is they head up, hit Mach 3 for a little bit, and then go find a fuel plane.
Attention, carrier jump sequence is underway. Lockdown begins in 5 minutes.
And catch an in-flight refuel. And then they can go run their mission.
Yeah. I know that the only planes that fly over me are the stealth bombers that are based there in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard them go out, during the Bush era when they were doing the Iraq war.
Those are some big planes.
Yeah, and they'd go over about midnight, and I know they had to be, way up there in the air. But when they rolled over the top of my house, it just rumbled, and it would vibrate the windows. It's like, they're way up there. They shouldn't be.
Well, that's because they're at Mach.
Boy.
They're doing better than the speed of sound. So what you're into, and the rumbling you're having is them breaking the sound barrier.
Well, they'd go out at midnight, and you could set your watch to it. Mm-hmm. They'd be back at midnight going home.
Mm-hmm. After having circumnavigated the globe, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, man. That's doing some traveling.
Yep.
Well, since we've been out here on our little escapade, or left the bubble, should I say, I have made $79 million.
Nice, and we're not even really trying.
No. Could have been more if I'd have wanted to spend my time just jumping from system to system, but I'm sure that I'm going to get my gut fill of that on the way back.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee that. By the time we get back to the bubble, you're going to want to be done exploring for a couple of months.
Everybody be saying, Earth-like, and it's like, don't give a crap.
Uh-huh.
Jump.
Having gone out, I can generally get all the way out to Beagle Point and about halfway back before I say, okay, I've had enough, and put it in high gear and just head home.
And then you get home and you do a few things, like, I should have stayed out there and just scanned the rest of them,
No, not so much. I mean, usually it's, something's going to happen in the game and I want to get back for it.
Right. Yeah, it's like the beta, the first beta, when I decided I was going to come and help you, and it was like I was what 3,000 or 4,000 light years away. It's like, okay.
Yep. Time to giddy up on the ponies and get a move on.
Yeah. That taught me a valuable lesson, though, for better too. Make sure I was somewhere locally.
Uh-huh. Well, when they announced kind of announced approximately when the betas would be, I knew I wanted to, have more money available and stuff for the carrier.
Attention, Chruia is now under pre-flight lockdown. All services have been suspended.
So basically, I think I was out at Colonia at the time, or maybe I was further out than that, I forget. And I just decided to pick up and move. Took the Neutron Highway home. Actually, I think I had just come back across Route 66 from Bagel Point. I said, wow, I've got 6 months to get home, make $5 billion, and get ready for the carriers if I'm going to get the carrier when it comes out. So I picked up and moved. Got home in less than a week. Finished off the engineers, got some other stuff done.
Yeah, you came back from big. I guess when I picked you up, you were back, but you had to unlock somebody, for Colonial, and you were making the track out to Colonial. I guess when I first started paying attention and watching your videos.
Right. So that was after
you were on your way out.
Right. So the trip to Colonia was for finishing the unlocks of the engineers, but I had already come all the way back from from the near side of Route 66.
Right.
Because I knew I had a lot to do. I had a lot to get done before the carriers came around. So finishing the engineering unlocks was on that list. All except the one that requires combat.
This carrier is about to engage the frame shift drive. Please move to a safe distance.
And in fact, that's the only one I still don't have unlocked. Is the one that requires, I think it's deadly in combat or something like that.
Oh yeah, what's her name?
Yes, that one I'll get whenever I get it. Whatever.
Yeah, I forget. Was it Jameson?
Laurie Jameson. I think that's right.
Yeah.
Attention all personnel, frame shift drive has been engaged.
Yeah, I think her. But don't you have just about everything 585'd out?
Yep.
Attention.
I forget what it is she has.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I forget what she has.
right.
Oh, bright.
Oh yeah.
Bright.
Retract landing gear.
Go for launch.
Landing gear
Start to
retracted.
confirm.
Oh, that would have been cool to be looking out of the carrier launch. All three of us launch at the same time.
Yeah.
Frameshift drive charging.
Speed restrictions have been lifted.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
11 bodies.
Yeah, but it paid 111,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's an Earth-like here. Oh, no, maybe not. It's very close on the spectrum to an Earth-like.
yeah. I'm sort of, kind of disappointed there.
I'm wondering what's the planet that makes this so expensive.
Yeah, me too.
Well, let's see what the map tells us. System map. Good night, A4.
Good night, A4. We got a terraformable, that's why.
Ah, okay.
Number 2. Carbon dioxide. It says this body is a candidate for terraforming.
Uh-huh. Okay, who wants the who wants the terraformable?
Let Yellow if he wants it. He needs to practice. I don't see anything else that's... Yeah, I don't see. Maybe the landable one?
Well, maybe. Actually, let me go into the FSS. Let's go look at this guy. No features on that guy. No features on that guy. None on that guy. Nope, none of them are have any surface features. So I'm guessing it's just the Earth-like.
Man, there's a lot of stars out here.
Yeah. And there aren't even any rings.
No, yeah, I'm just...
Disengage.
Exiting hyperspace.
We see you out there, Commander. Let us know if you'd like to dock.
Open hailing frequencies.
Requesting docking permission.
Clearance granted. Move directly to your landing pad.
Deploy landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Landing gear deployed.
Contact confirmed. Clamps engaged. Welcome to Icaria, Commander.
He's gonna have to learn how to slingshot. Well, that was 1,399,000.
Nice.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Okay.
this the last jump?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's past my bedtime. We made the system we listed as the expensive system from the way out.
Yeah.
So the next expensive system is 4 jumps away. So we'll try and reach there tomorrow night.
Okay.
So thank you and Yellow for coming along and helping, and enjoy the credits. And we'll pick it up tomorrow night. Right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, to use the old phrase. At any rate, I'd like to thank everyone who came along on the stream tonight. It was nice having you along. And for those that came into chat, thank you for coming into chat, although I think it was just A4 and us. And we'll pick it up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as usual. That's all for now. This is Trace Majestus signing out.